How is getting a mortgage for a second home different than getting a mortgage for my first home? So real quick, a second home is loosely defined as a vacation property or a property for another family member. But it's basically a second property that you own, but you will not earn income or rent from it. Getting a mortgage for a second home is considerably different than getting a mortgage for your first home or your primary home, mostly because you're going to require a larger down payment. For your first home, you can get mortgage insurance and you can buy a property with as little as 5% down. But on your second home, you need to have at least 20% as a down payment. So you need a big chunk of cash in order to purchase a second home. And that's usually different than buying your first home, because most people will take advantage of mortgage insurance and try to buy their first home with a very small down payment. As well, for second homes, you're going to have more income to show the bank than what you had for your first home, and that's because the bank wants to see that you can afford your primary home, and they want to make sure that you can afford the second home that you're looking at buying, whether that's a cabin on the lake or whether that's a home for one of your children. And this is because you've got to be able to show you can make two payments. But with a second home, unlike say purchasing a rental property, the bank will not allow any other rental income to be included in the equation. So if you're buying a home for your child, or you're buying a cabin on the lake, you're not going to be able to show that you're renting that property out and making income, which the bank can add to your income to show that you can make the payment. So that's a little bit different than when you buy your first home. And as a side note, most people don't know this, but if your primary home has CMHC insurance on it, let's say you have some children, and the home that you currently own right now, you had 10% or 15%, you put it down and you got CMHC insurance on your home. If your child now wants to go out and purchase a home with 5 or 10% down, but they need you to co-sign, that's not going to happen. The rules have changed recently where if you're co-signing for a child that's going to need CMHC insurance because they don't have enough down payment, but you already have CMHC insurance on your own property, then you can't be a co-signer for that mortgage. So that's something that's a little bit different that you need to keep in mind. Getting a mortgage for a second property doesn't have to be tough. Some of the things maybe I've just shared with you would cause you to go, oh, maybe we need to rethink this. But I would encourage you to visit emilynow.ca, register for an account, punch in some of your information, and you're going to be able to see the paperwork, the math that the bank is going to use. But more importantly, we've got a live chat service. We have an excellent customer service team that's going to be here to help you. And so if you are looking at purchasing a vacation property, or you're trying to help your child purchase a home, or you're buying a home for another family member, get in touch with us and let us help you do that. Again, service is free, doesn't cost anything, but you might be surprised in what you learn, and you might be surprised in what you're able to do.